Hey guys, it's IlonkaSims here, and I'm back with another speed build. First off, I have a cold, so if my voice sounds a little weird or I'm a little sniffly, I'm sorry. I spent all day outside just the other day for a concert queuing, and it was really cold and bad weather, so hence the cold. And well, again, if I sound awful, just ignore it. I needed to record this for you guys, so here we are. And this time I'm building, as you could tell from the title, a renovated Victorian home. Somebody on Facebook asked for a home that was open plan and all that, and I didn't want to do another modern build. I don't know why, I didn't feel like it. Usually I always build modern buildings, but I just wasn't feeling it, and I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I wanted to do a Victorian home, and then I was like, well, she wanted something open plan, how am I going to do that? And then I figured, you know what, let's do a renovated Victorian home. So mix up some of the items and objects in there, and I actually really love how this turned out to be, and I hope you guys do too. But even on the outside, I went online to grab some pictures because I'm not used to building Victorian homes and I'm not too sure how to build them, but so I took a picture and I just went from there and then edited it because it was much too big. The girl that I'm building this for wanted a 2-bedroom home, and I looked at it and was like, if I leave it as it is in the beginning, then it's going to turn out to be like a 5-bedroom home, and I don't have time to do a 5-bedroom home right now, so it's a 2-bedroom home, and it's an open plan kitchen, dining, living area with a little bit of a study nook. Here we are working on the roof. Again, like, I struggle with roofs all the time. I don't know if anybody else has that. I think maybe that's also part of why I like doing modern builds, is because you don't have to deal with all the roof pieces. You just grab a flat roof basically and you're done. But I figured it out in the end, and I think this is pretty much what we went with. And I like it. I mean, it's a little weird with the flat area, but because I had the rounded porch, and I needed to use the rounded piece on top as well, I think. So, and there's no rounded roof, so we have the flat area. Just a bit of a black roof. And I go putting in some wallpaper, and I went with this little like yellowy color. It's like very light yellow, but I like it. It's a little different, and I mix it up with some other patterns and stuff as well, because I always think that if you use one wallpaper, the building looks too boring, I guess. I don't know if other people think that too, but I like mixing up some of the colors and then using some other patterns, and I think it just adds some character to the building. So I use some of these get-together wallpapers, and I love the way it turned out. So, but here we are putting in the windows, because this was a Victorian home, which is a style that came with the base game. Thankfully, there were quite a few options for doors and windows, because I'm getting so sick and tired of using the same windows when I make a modern home. You put in the stone, I say a lot. I put in the stone foundation from Get Together as well, because again, I think it just added a little bit of character to the home, and I really like it. The girl I made this for had only a couple packs. I think she had Get Together, the patio stuff pack, which, by the way, I've been calling it the outdoor stuff pack all this time. I realized the other day, but whenever I said it, I meant the patio stuff pack. So I hope you guys understood that and I didn't completely confuse people. But she had that one, and I think the luxury stuff pack as well. So if you don't have everything, those are the 4 packs that are used in this build, because, well, she didn't have anything else, and if I'm building it for her, it makes sense that I don't use anything else. Also, if you ever want me to build something, let me know in the comments or on Twitter or anywhere. And if you don't have certain packs, let me know, because if you don't, I might use something that you don't have, and that would really suck. But here we are working on the front yard. She wanted like a front garden with a porch and a backyard with a garden and a pool, so that's what I did. I usually do inside before I do the outside, but I wanted to do the outside first this time. I tried this different fence, but it was much too modern, it wasn't working. I think we just didn't put no, not a fence. I didn't put a gate in the backyard because I figured you could quite easily already walk in from the porch, and it didn't make any sense to put another gate in there. But here we are putting in just some flowers and stuff, and I put in this fountain, and I actually really like how the fountain worked in the end. I put a lot of rocks around it, and then some of these fish fountain thingies. And I think it's really cute, and then I just put some greenery in it in a little bit as well, and I think it looks really nice and like a real pond actually. Like usually a fountain looks a little weird, but I tried to put in something else and it was like, no, those are all much too big and fancy. But it's just a small home, so I didn't want it to be anything too big. Considered putting these hedges around it, but then I figured you couldn't really see the rest of the garden, which I didn't like because I wanted to see the rest of the garden. I think it looked pretty good. Putting in some more greenery. There was too much just empty grass still. I also really like this pink tree. I looked around the neighborhood again and I saw some of these pink trees and was like, maybe I should use a pink tree. It's weird, I usually don't see pink trees. I don't know how it is in other countries. Pink trees are not something we usually have in the Netherlands. I think I saw some in New Zealand when I was in New Zealand, but I don't think I've ever seen a pink tree here in the Netherlands. I put some more detailing in the roofs because I looked at it and I was like, it's still a little empty with the two bigger roof pieces, so I put these windows in, and then I put some plant boxes below them from Get Together, and I always have to think, so I'm like, it's Get Together. Whenever it's a stuff pack, it's bound to start with Get. I really hope they don't keep that for the rest of the Sims 4 because it's going to get really annoying. So I had to put some of these decals in the roof, in the pool, but I didn't like them. Again, I tried something with some fountains, but they were too modern, and even though the inside of the house is pretty modern, I didn't want to make it too modern on the outside. So I took them out and I ended up doing something completely different with the pool, and I love the pool area. I'm spoiling this for you guys, but I love the pool area. I put these like red bricks on the ground. I never use those. Like, I was using them and I was like, I really never ever use them because I don't like them too much, and they wouldn't work for a modern build, but I think they worked really well for this build. So that's great. As you could see before, I put in some of these planters because she said she wanted a garden, I think, and I wasn't sure whether she wanted a garden that she could plant or just some greenery around it, so I put in both. I like having a garden in Sims 4. At least, like, I like it for a little bit, and then it's like, oh my god, this is too much work, why did I ever start this? But then I keep it anyways. Put in this little barbecue area because there was a lot of space. And here we go, working on the pool area. Looking at what to put in between, and I put in another fish fountain. I really like those fish fountains actually. I don't know if anybody else just hates them, but I really like, I don't know, they're really interesting, they're really cute, and they're just different. Looking at some roof pieces, but they were much too fancy for this more simple Victorian house, I guess. Working with those pieces, like I looked at them and I was thinking, oh, it would be so cool to like renovate the Goth house and just make it like really fancy with these pieces that we got with Get Together. If you think that's a good idea, let me know, because I might do it. I might record it, I might not. But if you want to see it, let me know, because then I'll definitely record it and show you guys what I did. But yeah, you can see that we are still working on the outside. It's so weird actually, I never ever do this, but I like it. Using the patio outdoor furniture, which I do really like. I love this furniture actually for the outdoors. Putting some more detailing there with the pool. I'm still not done, there will still be more detailing with the pool. Yeah, that goes behind it as well. And I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I will add some greenery, like flowers and plants on the other side, on either side of the decorations, I guess. And I don't think I put anything at the front of the pool. It's just a sitting area. Put all these green hedges around the place. I like the fence on the outside, but on the inside I wanted it to be a little more green. I didn't put them behind the planters though, because I wasn't sure if they would get in the way. So yeah, here we go, putting in all the flowers and shrubbery and some trees, because it's a backyard and I like having a green space. Not sure what I'm doing. I'm going around the place, looking at what I'm doing, probably seeing if there was enough. Added some more. Did the walks, because I don't know what it is about the walks. Like, I never used to do this too much in The Sims 3, I think, but in The Sims 4 when I look at a garden and there's no walks in it, I'm like, there's something missing. Let's put some walks in. But we finished the outside, so we started now on the inside. Again, I struggled with the layout. I always struggle with the layout. I initially changed one of the doors to a window because I thought the door would be in the way, but I think I ended up putting in a door anyways. But this is pretty much all the walls that will be in the whole house, and I don't change them either. I move the doors around, but that's it. Figuring out what color I wanted for the wallpaper and what color I wanted for the floors, and it can be such a pain. I put carpet in the bedrooms because I don't know why actually. I never do, but I thought it worked in this house, and I ended up going with this grey wallpaper, which I don't know. I mean, I planned to use a color, but then I wasn't feeling the color, so I went with something grey, and then I added quite a bit of color with the furnishing. Did this weird thing with a little bit of an island. I don't know if your Sims can use it properly with the island, the island pieces clipping into each other, but it looks good, and I don't think it should be too much of a pain anyways. So putting, of course, some bricks behind the kitchen, because you don't want to have your stove there and then splash grease and stuff all over just paint. So consider using the regular counters instead of the island counters, but I didn't really like it, so I ended up going with this other thing anyways. Also, Gothana, can you please not start talking to me when I'm recording? Thank you, that would be really nice. That's never happened before. Oh, and I love this little statue with the top hat. It's so funny. I don't know whoever came up with this, but it's really nice. Also struggling with the curtains. These were the taller windows, and there's not really any curtains for the taller windows, which is really frustrating. I don't know if anybody else ever has been really bothered with it, but like they don't come to the floor, and I think I change them so that they go down a little bit, but it's still really frustrating. But as you can see, we use these Victorian kind of items, but make them a little bit modern, like the white with the white and the black with the black, and not with the like weird pastel colors and then wood color for the wood, but just a more modern interpretation, and then combining it with some really modern furniture as well. And I don't know how I came up with this. I think I saw something on Google somewhere and I was like, I really love this idea of just combining the two styles, and it works really well. So that's what I went with. I changed it a little bit because I didn't want to go with the yellow chairs there. I wanted to use the yellow for the dining area. And we use, of course, the cat painting because I use the cat painting all the time. I love cats. In case you didn't know, I absolutely love cats. But I have the chairs blue now. In the end they will be red, but as I said, I wanted to use the yellow for the dining area, which goes in this little corner over here, next to what will be the master bedroom. Here's the fancy table with some modern chairs, again just combining things, which worked really well. Also, there were only 2 carpets that fit underneath the table, which was really frustrating because it wasn't quite what I wanted to use. Put some bar stools here with the sink area, and I was thinking, like, should I use some modern furniture or not modern furniture? And I like the, let's say, the older kind of base game, the really fancy stools, because they have a back to it, but I looked at them and they seem too big, I guess. I want something that you didn't see too much. Like, these are there and you can sit on them and you can have your breakfast at the counter, I guess, but you don't have to see them all the time. Considered putting in this old stereo thing, but I didn't like it too much, so I put in a regular stereo. And there you go with this little weird statue, which goes next to the study nook that I just put in. Finally, I end up working on the kitchen a bit more. I think I said it before, I always start with the kitchen, but I usually also finish it. I didn't this time. I had to go back to it to put in decorations and all that. I think I put in just a microwave and a coffee machine and then just decorations. Added some blue detailing around the place just to tie everything together because it works well with the red as well with the yellow. And it was in the paintings too, I think, so yeah, definitely, I can see it now. So he put up some more decorations everywhere, making sure there's enough light, and we start on the master bedroom. Again, just matching different styles, figuring out how to make it work. I think I initially went again with the yellow, and then I was like, I already used so much yellow on the other side, and I wanted to use some different colors, so I think I will change it in a little bit to orange. Going with some with the same curtains as on the inside, but in a different on the inside, as in the living area, but in a different color. And here I go moving most of the curtains down a little bit. And here I went looking at it. I was like, the colors are too similar to what they were on the other area. Considered putting in these closets, but I didn't like it there, so I moved the bed to this area, and then I realized I didn't have a TV in the living area, so I put a TV in the master bedroom so that they could still watch TV. I guess, I mean, the other bedroom will be a teen girl's room, so she cannot watch TV unless she goes to her parents' room, which is a little weird, but I like how it works in the end. And here I go changing the colors to the blue and orange. which I do really like. And figuring out what to do with the lighting, putting in again some of the more older furniture with some modern things on it, next to it, and I love the combination of it. I know I've said this like a million times already, but I really do. Figuring out if there was any orange decorations, but there actually weren't too many orange decorations, which is a little sad, but it worked out pretty well, I think. And these little candle thingies from the patio stuff pack, not the outdoor, the patio stuff pack. I also love those. If you've seen other videos of mine, you have probably noticed before that I use them a lot. I put in these bookshelves because the wall was very empty, and I really like how they look there. I would love actually to have so many bookshelves and just so many books in my room. I love reading, so. But here we go, putting in a teenage girl's room, I think it will be. I started off with this idea that I wanted to put in more of an artist kind of room. Then I ended up with some grayish mint green wallpaper, and initially I wanted to make it kind of gender neutral, but I put in the bed and there's a little bit of pink in there, and I was like, oh, that looks so pretty with the mint green. And afterwards I realized I think I did this also in my last build, the mint green and the pink, but it's such a nice combination. And I suppose pink doesn't necessarily mean it's a girl's room, but that's what I unfortunately do assume, and I think most people do. But that's okay. I'm not sure about this, like, wow, I cannot think of the word. I never struggle this much when I normally talk, only when I'm recording. I put in the carpet. No, it's not a carpet, is it? Yeah, like the decoration carpet, not the regular carpet. The pink, it's very bright pink, and I'm not too sure if I like it or not, but we didn't have any other nice pink carpets, so I considered putting in the tragic clown painting, as you could see probably. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't played the game since the last update, so I really should, but I've been very, very busy last week. That's also why this video is a day late. As I said, I was outside all day the other day because I went to a concert, and that's the day I usually edit the video so that I can record the next day, but because I was out all day, I obviously couldn't do that. We put in just a simple kind of bathroom, but with the really fancy tiles that you will only see in an old house. Very black and white, which I love. You can kind of see through the carpet as well. I noticed that when I was taking screenshots, I was like, you can see through it, why? That's so weird. I go around the place, putting in some light on the outside, because the inside was pretty good in terms of lighting, but the outside was very dark, and I wanted it to also look nice at nighttime, I guess, and for you to be able to just enjoy the outdoor area and so on. Or at least not you, but your Sims will be able to enjoy it, hopefully. So I put these lights all around the place, and the garden. I always put some lights in the greenery because otherwise they look so sad at night time. But that's, I think, pretty much it. I moved the chimney to where we actually have the fireplace, but I go around the place. Just, there was a bit of a dark spot. Fixed it with a bit of light, some pull lights, and I think that's it. Go to the front of the house, and then we go into the screenshots. So there's only this one from the front, and then some pictures on the inside taken from the kitchen and just the bedrooms and all that. But as always, if there's something you like to see me build, as I said before, let me know, like, comment, or go to my Twitter. I will link it in the description. Also check the description for the download if you want your Sims to be able to enjoy this. But that's it for me. I will talk to you next time. Bye guys.